Jupiter isn't a friendly gas giant. It is a 1.9 octillion kilogram gravitational wrecking ball actively threatening Earth's orbital stability. Welcome back to the Space Traveler's Log. While you were stressing over unread emails, astrophysicists were busy writing papers praising a 318 Earth-mass cosmic wrecking ball as our benevolent shield, which is just a fancy way of saying they get paid six figures to pretend a giant gas monster isn't occasionally throwing space rocks directly at our heads. Emergency cognitive paper towels are strongly advised for this entry, because your brain's comfortable idea of solid ground is about to be utterly obliterated. Before we plunge into the screaming vortex of this gas titan, hit that subscribe button as it fuels our vessel to go on such journeys. 4.6 billion years ago, Jupiter wasn't a peaceful gas sphere. It was an unchecked wrecking ball. Under the raw gravitational friction of the early solar system, a young Jupiter began plowing inward toward the sun, acting like a runaway semi-truck crashing through a glass shop. It obliterated first-generation protoplanets, smashing early worlds into cosmic dust before Saturn's gravity finally yanked it back to the outer solar system. If Jupiter hadn't pulled that sudden U-turn, Earth would have been swept into the sun long before your ancestors even figured out how to make fire. Did your morning alarm feel high stress? Try surviving a 300 Earth-mass bully tearing up your neighborhood. For thousands of years, ancient civilizations stared up at Jupiter, the brightest star after Venus, and named it the king of gods. They prayed to it for good harvests and military victories, completely unaware that the glowing light in their sky was actually an active radiation bomb sitting in the dark. It's like admiring a pretty, glowing light in your living room without realizing it's an armed grenade with a loose pin. They thought it was watching over them. It was actually just waiting. In 1610, Galileo pointed a crude wooden spyglass at Jupiter and noticed 4 tiny specks of light dancing around it: Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto. That single observation didn't just discover moons. It utterly destroyed the human ego. For centuries, elite scholars swore on their lives that Earth was the absolute center of the universe. Watching 4 moons orbit Jupiter proved Earth wasn't the center of anything. It was just another rock floating around. Imagine sending a calendar invite to the entire human race just to tell them their place in the cosmos was a complete delusion. Fast forward to the space age, when NASA decided to send probes to take a closer look. What they found was a particle accelerator masquerading as a planet. Jupiter's magnetic field is 20,000 times stronger than Earth's, trapping electrons and whipping them around at near light speed. This creates a lethal radiation belt so intense it acts like a subatomic meat grinder, shredding computer chips and melting satellite electronics in minutes. NASA had to coat the Juno spacecraft in a titanium vault just so it wouldn't die before sending back a single photo. You think your Wi-Fi dropping during a Zoom call is annoying? Try engineering a probe that gets nuked by a planet every 53 days. If you stepped off a spacecraft and plunged into Jupiter, you wouldn't land. You'd just fall forever. Jupiter has no solid ground. You would dive through thousands of miles of freezing ammonia clouds, falling past skies that make Earth's worst hurricanes look like a gentle ceiling fan breeze. As you fell deeper, the atmospheric weight above you would ramp up until the air itself became as dense as liquid, crushing your body into a hot, microscopic smear long before you ever reached the center. No floor, no landing, just a bottomless, high-pressure execution chamber. Sink deep enough into Jupiter, and normal states of matter stop making sense. At a depth of 10,000 miles, the pressure is so crushing that hydrogen gas gets squeezed until its electrons snap free. It turns into an ocean of liquid metallic hydrogen, a substance that flows like liquid mercury and conducts electricity like a high-voltage power line in a thunderstorm. This churning, planet-sized sea of liquid metal is the secret engine driving Jupiter's terrifying magnetic field. It's an ocean broader than Earth, where you couldn't swim, float, or breathe, only be instantly electrocuted and vaporized. Then there's Jupiter's trademark, the Great Red Spot, a hurricane so vast it could swallow Earth whole, churning violently for over 300 years. But here's the unsettling reality. It's starving. Over the last century, this monster storm has been rapidly shrinking, eating smaller atmospheric vortices like a desperate landlord scavenging for late rent. If this storm starves and dies, the delicate atmospheric equilibrium of the entire planet shifts, and nobody knows what kind of global nightmare takes its place. You think 10 inches is nothing? If Jupiter's current orbit nudged just 10 inches closer or further away, you wouldn't notice a thing tomorrow morning. But over millions of years, Jupiter's massive gravitational pull would slowly tug Earth's orbit out of shape, stretching our circular path into an oval. That tiny 10-inch shift would eventually unleash catastrophic climate instability, swinging Earth between frozen ice ages and extreme heat, rendering your oceanfront property permanently uninhabitable. One small twitch for Jupiter, total climate collapse for humanity. We love to celebrate Jupiter for swallowing Comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 back in 1994, calling it our loyal galactic bodyguard. But Jupiter is a deeply erratic bouncer. While its massive gravity acts as a vacuum cleaner for outer solar system debris, it frequently snatches frozen asteroids from the Kuiper Belt and slingshots them directly into the inner solar system. It doesn't just catch cosmic bullets for us. It occasionally takes aim at Earth like a bored kid throwing rocks at passing cars. And here is the ultimate cosmic punchline. Jupiter is essentially a failed star. Made almost entirely of hydrogen and helium, it has the exact chemical recipe of the Sun. If it had gathered about 80 times more mass during the formation of the solar system, the immense pressure at its core would have ignited nuclear fusion. We wouldn't have a peaceful blue sky. We'd be trapped in a scorched, chaotic two-sun solar system where nighttime literally wouldn't exist. Jupiter sits in the dark like a silent titan, holding the chaos of the outer solar system at bay while quietly reshaping the destiny of every rock in its reach. We look out at its violent storms and glowing radiation belts, taking comfort in the illusion that we are safe in our quiet corner of space. We drew lines between the stars and called them our cosmic sanctuary. The universe just called it a game of gravitational roulette. Drop a comment below letting me know. Would you ever want to fly past Jupiter's Great Red Spot? Or is the lethal radiation enough to keep you on Earth? Hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, log entry closed. See you on the next ascent.